Welcome back everyone. Quickly, let's continue our discussion on HTML input attributes. And right now we'll be discussing about the min and max attributes in HTML input element. The input min and max attribute specifies the minimum and maximum values for an input field. The min and max attributes work with the following input types: number input type, range input type, date input type, date time local input type, month input type, time input type, and week input type. Tip: use the max and min attributes together to create a range of legal values. So I'm going to show you how this works quickly. In our previous tutorial, we have already discussed about this min and max attribute in details, but right now I want to touch it again so you can be able to know what is going on with it. You can check our HTML input types. You can check our HTML input types or HTML from playlist to be able to follow along. As you can see in our previous tutorial, we have discussed a lot of it, and also I've discussed about the max input, min and max input also in our previous tutorial. You can check it if there is something you don't really understand about what I'm trying to do right now. But in this tutorial also, I'm going to explain a little bit again in a little reasonable form. So let's quickly start another thing. Right now we are on this playlist, HTML input attributes playlist, so you can check our playlist to be able to follow along. So quickly, let's get back to the code. Here is our code right here. Quickly, after this, our max right here, we'll create another input. Yes, after this, our max right here, we'll create another input. First, let's give it br times 2. We need 2 break lines, and also what do we need again? We need our label. So let's give it a label first. A label for what? Label for min and max attribute, right? So this is what we are here for. So I just don't want this tutorial to get too long than expected. I will just write it like this, in this manner. Min max, let me just write it like that. Min max att, right? Let me just use att for the attribute so we can be able to understand it. Min and max att, I just want to use it like this. attr, yes. So let's quickly write something right here also. We can copy this also and use it here also. Let's use it here. Min and max attributes. So give this capital letter, sorry, give this capital letter and give this also capital letter. So now let's create our input immediately after it. Let's give it min and max so you can be able to understand. Min, let's give it, firstly we need minimum value, we need 2. Let's just say minimum value, and max, let's specify max also. Max we need 6, let's say 6. So right here, let's reload our document first and see what we got. As you can see, we're having max attribute right here. So let us write something there so we can be able to know what is going on. Can you see this min max attribute is not working for the input type of text, so but it's going to work with the input type of number. So let's use input type of number quickly. Now when we use the input type of number, let's reload our document. Now when we start typing anything, when it gets to some level, it's going to stop. Let me show you. If you write 0, no, this is how you can understand it clearly. Let me increase the size of this input type of number. We have discussed about the size attribute. You can learn that in our previous tutorial also. So let's just give it 10. Yes, let's give it 10 size so we can see how it, yes, this size is okay like this. So let's use our min max attribute. This our min max attribute is working with the server. So I'm going to show you how this works. Let's say for instance in our previous tutorial we use we use max length. So let's use it with max length also. Let's copy this. Let's say we need max length of something. Don't let us use max length here. Let's just use the min max only. So let's say for instance now the minimum value we want people to write is to start from is 2, right? So let's write the 2 right here, because this minimum is like we don't want anything below 2, and this maximum is meaning is that we don't want anything beyond 6. So that is minimum value they can start from is this will be the starting point, and this will be the ending point. So I'm going to show you how this works very well, so you can, that's why I'm trying to display this one. This value right here is for us to see the minimum, the minimum place we are starting from. So I'm going to, let me write it let me just write minimum, or let me just leave it like that. Let's save our document and see what we have. Let's reload our document and let's reset. Now as you can see, our default minimum, let's say we are trying to come down, it's not going to come down. Let's click the top. Now the top is going to come up, but when it reaches 6, it's going to stop. And when we come down right here, it's going to stop when it reaches 2. But when we are trying to write something, it's going to write. But let's say we are trying to submit it, will never go. Can you see? On here to write anything around minimum, let's press 2, it's going to go. Can you see it's going now? But when you write anything like this, it will never go. This submit button is going to reject it. It will ask you a question. Please select a value that is no more than 6. That is, the starting point will be 2 and the ending point will be what? Will be 6. So let's start from, can you see, when you submit 6, the 6 also will go. When you submit anything between 2, the 2 also will go. Let's come down from 6. Let's submit 2. Can you see it goes? But when we submit anything below 2, let's say we submit 1, it will not go. Let's submit 1, it will not go. And let's say for instance now you use your let's reset. We are trying to use this button, it will never accept us to go beyond and to go after. You can understand what I'm talking about now. So this is the starting point, where this is the ending point. Understand? The minimum mean that the starting point, the maximum mean that the ending point. So don't let anything confuse you, because sometimes the grammar also used to confuse many people. They have taught us this in school when we were in secondary school or junior school, but the way they are used to, they always teach us all these things, sometimes used to make all these things confused. As you can see, minimum, definitely you can see specify 2, starting from 2, and the maximum is 6. Definitely you can see specify 6, but it must not be beyond 6. That's the point. So I want you to understand it. As you can see, it's working perfectly. Anwar Akorede Ayofe is my name. I wish to see you guys next time, and to the next tutorial. Bye bye.